Welcome in to another episode of the show. Thank you for being here. I'm so excited to be with you today on this beautiful spring day here in New Zealand. The rain has been raining and the wind has been blowing the last few days, so today the sun is shining and everything feels bright and fresh. So, loving that. Which kind of ties into our conversation today around activating your feminine magic and really claiming your true power as a creator, the creator. So the context for this conversation has kind of come from a lot of things that have been swirling through this eclipse season, through the 999 portal of completions. A lot of intensity happening for many, many people at the moment in various different ways. And in particular, something that I've heard 3 times now in the last week from women in conversation, which is shame. This energy of shame. And I want to just speak to this today because this is releasing. This is being let go of on a collective scale. It's come out to be released, to be alchemized. But I want to touch on a few of these things today, and this is going to lead us into this activation of our feminine magic. So fast forward or rewind back to the conversation I had with a friend last week around shame, that I was feeling so much, was purging so much of this emotional energy, which again ties in with this Pisces energy, this watery energy. And I said to her, at the root of what I'm feeling is this sense of shame for not being able to do this, to create what I want to create, to make it all work. And it was deep, and it was like this moment of reckoning almost. And she immediately came back to me and said, you know what, this has been so deeply woven into the suppression of feminine energy and the divine feminine itself, this sense of shame. And I sat with that and I felt it as so true. And then I saw the different ways that this shame had played out in my life and how I see other women experiencing their lives. And in particular, let's bring up a few examples. Motherhood. You feel shame if you are at home with your babies all day and not contributing financially to the household. And then you feel shame if you are contributing financially to the household, but you are away from your babies all day at work. Another example is in business. You can feel shame when things are kind of slow to move or slow to take off. And equally, you can also feel shame when things are like really rapid and wild. Your success just kind of drops in. And it made me think, like, it makes no sense. There's no way to win this game. And that totally is the way that the matrix works. There is no way to win, to heal the paradigm when you are in it. What is needed is for you to see it clearly for what it is. And the moment you do that, you step out of it. You actually shift your energy and your frequency shifts out of that paradigm, of that matrix. The Substack post that I wrote for all my long form lovers was around the sticky matrix story of shame. And as I was writing it, I was kind of like, actually, I want to reframe that and change that to the silly matrix fairy tale. Because when we, again, give our power to the words of stickiness, it's kind of like, oh, this is something I really need to work hard to get out of. And actually, no. You can actually just go, oh, that's such a silly story that I've been playing in my reality or that I've been buying into. It's so silly. It's ridiculous. It makes no sense. It's a fairy tale. And when you do that, one, there's a little bit of humor in there. There's a little bit of like, oh, how could I be so silly to forget who I am, this infinite creative being, like, oh. But at the same time, it's like a real reclamation of actually the truth that you are everything. That as soon as you need or desire something, it is given. It is immediate, it is abundant, and it is infinite. And when we come home to that knowing, all of these silly fairy tale stories start to fall away, because not that we've got in there and healed things and shifted things, it's that we've just chosen to go, I see this for what it is. This is something that is an illusion that has been created to keep me feeling suppressed and small and disempowered. And I know that's not who I'm here to be. I know that's not what I'm here to create. So you may have felt in this time period of real rapid and full-on transformation, you may have felt for yourself this edginess of like, well, can I actually do this? And that is that story of disempowerment coming up to be like, oh, fuck yes, you can. And actually, it is so easy, so natural to create exactly what you want to create, because it's who you are. You don't need to be anybody. You don't need to do anything. You are infinitely worthy because you were born, because it is your birthright to create and to call things into existence. And so, your feminine magic. There are a couple of key kind of themes that I want to weave in here. The first being leading from your inner vision, leading your life from what you know is true for you. And this is when this awakens in you and activates in you, this is so powerful, because you immediately see all of the stories and games you've been playing in that matrix kind of space. And you realize that actually there's nothing needed outside of me to be validated, to be confirmed for my gifts, for who I am, for what I'm here to do. And when you can truly trust yourself and walk in the unseen, but actually it's not unseen. It is seen within you. It is seen in your imagination. It is felt in your visions. It is felt in your sense of desire. And that is real. That is what creates. That is creation. We've been so taught to look outside of us for what's real, to use our senses to be the kind of precursor for what is actually here in reality, what is true, when it is actually the opposite. What we are sensing in our reality, yes, is manifestation, but it's manifestation that is past its kind of use by date. It's manifestation that has been already created. There's no other influence there. What is the true source of creation is what is coming through from inside of you, that internal vision, that imagination, that creative, exciting, thrilling energy of what you are creating in this now moment. And so the feminine magic that you hold is that you can lead your life from that place, and you can create incredible, wild things in your reality from that place. But it comes back to anchoring into who you are and trusting that vision, trusting it, and being so solid in the knowing that what you desire is done, that as soon as you need it, it is completed. As soon as you want it, it is here. And assuming that energy in your body and walking in it, and getting excited about how it's going to become physical, because of course it is. That is the law. That is the law. It's not some kind of fairy tale delusion. It's how the universe operates. Frequency first, and then form. So where are you being invited at the moment to come back into your feminine inner vision and really not just tap into that at times when you're manifesting something, but actually live there and lead from there? Every moment in your day can be driven and activated from that space. So where are you being invited to activate that feminine magic within yourself? The other thing I want to talk to just briefly today is around our gifts. Now, again, one of those silly fairy tales is that our gifts is that we don't feel like our gifts are powerful until somebody validates that for us, or until somebody has that transformation or that whatever it is. But it doesn't actually work that way. You feel your gifts, you know their power, you share them with the world freely and openly, and you don't wait for confirmation, you don't wait for validation, you don't seek that approval. You live in the knowing that Source is creating through you, Source is activating through you. The infinite power of the universe moves through you with your gifts. And when you're in that place, there is absolutely no doubt. There is no doubt. Doubt, again, is something that's been woven into us. We've been taught to doubt our intuition. We've been taught to doubt our guidance, our gifts. And in some cases, even been taught to see them as dangerous. That actually to follow your heart and your intuition is something that's like a risky thing to do, when that is not true. That is simply not true. Your heart, your gifts, your knowing is the only truth. And so perhaps through this portal, you're also being called into that, called into really claiming the power of who you are and what you bring to the world and standing in it fully, like letting all doubt, all need for validation to just dissolve, because that's how simple it can be. When you shift your energy into that aligned state, when you live as yourself, walking and breathing as God, as the divine, all that doesn't live in congruence with that vibrationally just shifts out, just moves out, just dissolves. You cannot heal that matrix story from within the matrix. If you're still giving your energy to that story, it's still playing out. It's still playing out in your field. So anything that's happening at the moment for you, that intensity that I've spoken about, whether it's with the stories of not being good enough, the stories of being in lack, or the stories of not fully trusting your guidance and knowing that you are safe to follow your soul and safe to do the work that you know you're here to do. This is a reminder that all of that is just a fallacy, that the truth is something that you already know. And all you need to do is come home to it, come home to it, come home to it. Always. Because yes, we do live in this physical reality. We do have our senses that can connect with the physicality of our world. And so it feels so real. When we look in our bank account, it feels so real. When we see that person in our life, it feels so real. But when you come back to the truth that you are everything, you are creating everything, you have influence over everything, everything is yours, everything is here for you, everything is supporting you eternally and infinitely, you start to just live your life in a different way. That feminine magic activates, it comes alive in your system. And there's no turning back from that space. It is done. It is a way of operating in the world, a way of being, a way of moving, a way of creating. And it is so empowering. It is so empowering to live in that space. To say, nah, I'm actually done with that fairy tale matrix story, whatever it is. And then just letting it be done. Just go, okay, I'm just going to orient my focus to what is true. I'm just going to move into what is true for me. I'm just going to operate from that space. And you can do that. It takes practice. It takes practice. Something that I've been doing lately is I've tuned into Neville Goddard's work, which I love. His channelings, they feel so pure and so connected to source energy. And one of the key things that he spoke about was influencing your subconscious. So before you go to sleep, just visualizing your truth, your life as you want it to be, and like saturating yourself with it and letting that energy that you tap into before you drift off into sleep, letting that inform your subconscious as you sleep. It just made so much sense to me. Because what's the alternate to that? We go through our day that's happened, we rerun it, we might bring up the shitty things that went down. And while we do that as we're falling asleep, we are programming our subconscious to bring more of that into our experience, to operate from that place. However, when you become a conscious creator and you direct your frequency, you direct your mind into exactly what it is you want to experience and feel and create, and you just live in that vision and you feel it as you fall asleep, you are then programming your subconscious as you rest, as you sleep. And the next day you wake up and you realize that there has been a subtle shift that has happened. It doesn't take long. Do this for one night and just be an observer. Notice how you feel the next day. It will rapidly change your state of being. It will lift your frequency like nothing else. That is something to take away from this as well. So remember, your feminine magic is what you are here to activate and bring fully online. What you sense and know you're here to create and do is correct. That's the only confirmation and validation that you need, that you have felt it, that you've sensed it, that you connect to it visually. That's it. So hold that energy, walk into your world from that place. And if you need or are desiring more of this energy, more of this in your life, there are different ways that you can work with me at the moment. You can join my membership Luminous, which is such a activating space, a place where you are truly seen and really showed who you are as a divine being, and you remember it, and you bring that into your business, you bring that into your world, you live your light, you live luminous, which shifts everything, it changes everything. And that is open, so you can join Luminous. You can also come and work with me one-on-one. I have some spaces that I've just opened for some rapid shifts and changes that can be over a month's time, or you can come into my longer term container, which is called the Portal. So I will link all of that below, but thank you so much for tuning in. And let's just be done with these silly matrix stories. Let's just come home to the power of our truth. You've got this.